Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today I'm doing a video that's a little bit more slowed down for a subscriber because I did the Marathon Hay House walkthrough of 4 decks and it was really fast. So this person has requested the slowed down version and some tidbits of information as we go along. Now, this deck was put out in 2021 with the help of some Kickstarter supporters. And it's by Ari Wisner, has 81 cards in it, and it really is unique. I even find the box feels really, really nice. And you can see that there is poetry. Get it in focus there. Poetry by Fausta Joly. And it really is, as I say, a beautiful deck. This was picked up by Hay House, and I got it a couple weeks ago. So it comes with a really nice book. I've worked my way through the majors and into the water sign, but I thought I'd just let you listen up to a little bit of information here from the artist, the creator. And he talks about from his youth struggling to trust both humanity and my own self. And this is a queer-based artist, illustrator, and designer of this deck. It's really refreshing. His religious beliefs discouraged authenticity and encouraged a fixation on pinning down a singular truth with the goal of denying the power of death. And it really is insightful. He wanted to create this to aid his own practice, and he did bring, as it indicates in the book here, some gender-neutral and inclusive approach to the cards and the deck. So let's move a little paraphernalia out of the way here. These are the extra cards, the past, present, and future. You're looking at the back of the card there. I really like, as I say, the feel of these cards, and I enjoy the color. And he deliberately kept images of people in their genders out so that we could just enjoy the meanings that would come forward with the cards. So I'll adjust this a little bit so we get a better peek. And this is an idea there of the sands of time. I really appreciate that, the slowing down. And I think he might have mentioned something about that in the book. Yeah, I found some more tidbits here, and you can see that it talks about the want and the desire to flow within the spinning hourglass attached to the cosmic wheel of becoming. And he also indicates that he did change some of the names of the traditional cards in the deck and explored ways to express their qualities without gendered visuals. And he reduced the use of body, skin, and clothing throughout the deck to shift that visual from specific genders, ethnicities, body types, and ages. So it's really, it's just so simple. And the colors are so inviting. So let's get into it. And there's all kinds of information in there about the tarot practice and how to stimulate your imagination as you do that. So there is our hourglass and the cosmic look. And there is the first card, the Fool. And you get a little bit of this daisy image running throughout, which is very refreshing. And you can see the Fool plunging, not stepping, just plunging off into the future. And his eyes are probably open, and he's aware of the step that he's taken, but it's key to his progress in moving forward. This deck really has a voice, and that is what I'm liking about it. Okay, there is the Magician. And so you have the 4 elements there. And the idea in the book is to take on those elements, wear those elements, embrace them, and bring yourself into balance and find your magic. Really, really cool. All right, we'll go on. And we have our 3, the revealer. And isn't that what the high priestess is about? Looking inside for those revelations and bringing that idea of the time well spent and finding balance from that. So instead of seeing a woman for the Empress, we have the nurturer. And the nurturer is the one who has the pearl of wisdom and connected to the stars. And I like the water element that has brought in, because we often think of that water element in the Empress as the one that is emotionally nurturing for us. The defender. This one was a little bit tricky for me to find some words with it, but I can get the idea of the crown here and the gemstone that has been cut and formed from, I guess, when you think of a king, that authority figure, that he's been through a lot and he's there to guide us. So this is our defender, someone we can trust, who has the knowledge and the skill to lead us. The proclaimer. Our lovers, and I like the idea that the locket is open. The chariot. It's our voice and our wisdom to see the path forward is what I get. Stretching ourselves, opening up. The strength card. So there's the repeating of that almost gemstone we saw earlier in the Emperor. The hermit. It's a type of card that you could sit with and meditate on, just those 2 simple images. Our wheel, and we do get this sort of string running through often. Justice. The hanged one. And to me, that is, finding your faith, yes, but it has many perspectives. And it's within reach, it's within your grasp. That can be your hand. Really like the death card. Simple. We don't have all the symbols from the RWS, but this says a lot. Transformation. The moon illuminates your path, and the path is there. It's the purity of taking the next step forward, despite fears. The Temperance card. The Devil. So the tool there of the scissors gives you the opportunity to cut and sever some of the vices, some of the addictions, and the snake to me talks about flexibility. Nobody's perfect. Our Tower. The Star. It's like she's pouring out the wisdom of the universe. And do we accept it? The Moon. Like the moon, there's so many phases to ourselves. This really is a wonderful deck, and I'd like to see it reviewed a lot more. I mean, to me, that looks like a keyhole, and illumination when the sun comes out is key. What do you see? Judgment call. And I love the fact that the egg is there for rebirth. Key is sometimes, starting again. The world and how you see it. The wands. So that first burst, it's almost like the sage that you light and purifying your way and having that courage to move forward. There's that string again running through for connection. We're not bound to another, but we can reach out. Three of Wands. Our four. And I like that the door is cracked open. And having looked at the Change Tarot lately with this card about belonging, it's that, hope that the candle is lit, the door will be open, and there's a spot for you. Our five. Keeping the fire burning, keeping that creativity and passion, despite struggles, there. The 9. And the 10. Yes, life can be a burden, but we take on what we can, and if we can ask for help for someone else to help us through our struggles, all the better. But it asks you, really, what's in your basket? The Apprentice, and this is where it's named a little bit different. Our Champion, which would be our Knight. Our Keeper of Wands. And we still get that beautiful, it's like a sunflower, and you see that in a lot of the RW decks with the Queen of Wands. And so, key fertility, those seeds, those truths, that fire energy. The Crown. And so we're into our swords here. And this is where you get the little image of the eye that we saw on the front of the box. They have a nice sound, these cards, when you shuffle through them. It's interesting that this dotted line around the moon, when we were kids, you remember cutting around and following the dotted line. But with the Two of Swords here, it's you have a choice. There's two ideas there. It's a very playful deck. Really pretty card. So, you can take your ideas that you might be fearful of and lack clarity on and, line them up and create that bridge from one area to another. Cross it. face those difficulties and transform it. Another one for zeroing in. Some of those swords, or all of them, are broken. But what have you learned? The apprentice. Our champion. Looks like right out of a King Arthur type show. The keeper of swords. And the crown. So now we're into the vessels. And for me, it just reminds me of the song from Sting, Message in a Bottle. It's just fantastic. Our two. The creativity of the three of vessels. That is so neat because, those plants don't look so healthy. They might have been ignored or overwatered. And this fourth one, where is the fourth one? What do we need to plant? Our five. There's our 7 for choices. The missing piece. I like these little footprints almost in the snow here. Our 9. And the 10. So there is the apprentice, nurturing her creativity, the champion, the keeper, and the crown. That's very different. This one really stands out in this deck. That crown almost looks like, it's going to hurt. Our ace. There's our string again, running through the coins. Holding it together, balance. Our 3, lovely, lovely 3. Less is sometimes more. Our 4. The 5. So you get the idea there of, it's like last week when one of my bracelets that I wear often broke and all these beads went flying everywhere. But rather than putting it back together, I'm choosing to save each of those beads and possibly do it in some magic because I've put a lot of energy into that bracelet. I've worn it a lot. And where else now can I use that energy? Our 6. Such a delicate 7. The 8. Our 9. Usually we see the woman standing in the garden by the gate and all the olives and grapes growing. So here we have our grapes. R10. Again, you've got that candle lit, welcoming you home. A little bit of Kabbalah going on there. The Apprentice. The Champion. The Keeper of Coins. And the Crown of Coins. So I'm just going to shuffle a few cards here to show you what that looks like together. Okay, so how does it feel in the hand? Fantastic. There's no clumping together. The cards, you can get a real good rhythm with them. And they're not hard for me to hold. I don't find that an issue. Doesn't fan out terrifically right now. Maybe it will after some flexibility. So we'll take this one here. And one from over here. And another one maybe from here. So for that one, if I was reading for someone else, I might say something about the fact that there might be some struggles going on right now with yourself. And if you can look for an opportunity and, a blending of ideas can help, and the emotional support of someone else can help bring a balance to that. So it starts out as a struggle. There's an opportunity for sure. Will you go through that? That's up to you. The gate is there. Will you open it? It seems to be there on the horizon. And possibly, if you choose that new beginning, you might find comfort and balance and someone else to share this new adventure with. It's just an idea, throwing it out there, but really enjoy, how these cards talk. And it's so peaceful in a layout. So I hope that helps other people that were maybe sitting on the fence about this deck. I think it's marvelous. Have a wonderful day.